We also know that we have been asked to do this by the National Congress of American Indians, the Iowa Commission on Native American Affairs, the Iowa Commission on Human Rights, Iowa's own Meskwaki Nation, Sac and Fox Tribe of the Mississippi in Iowa. They have all also been asking for this. In addition, we know that the National Education Association, the American Psychological Association, the ACLU, and the NAACP are all asking for this change. The time has indeed come. Now, for us and our family, I am hopeful that my own 4 Native Indigenous children, who are all now enrolled in this district, grades 6 down through kindergarten, will finally be able to walk the school halls and learn in classrooms and participate in school sports, free from these outdated ethnic and racial stereotypes.
I'm a retired teacher and coach. I'm also a graduate of Mason City Schools. And while attending Mason City High School, I proudly, as a Mohawk, was a member of the Mohawk Crier. And as well, I'm a little nervous right now, just in case you hadn't noticed. Very proudly a member of the field hockey, tennis, and volleyball teams. And more specifically, I was very proud to represent all Mohawks when we won the state championship my senior year in volleyball. So, you know, she had quite a statement to say tonight.
Cherokee, Chickasaw, Sac, Sioux, Potawatomi are named for well-known Indian tribes. Many counties or cities bear names which stand as monuments to Indian chiefs. Winneshiek County, Black Hawk, Keokuk, the city of Keokuk, city of Waupun, Wapello County, Appaloosa County, Mahaska County, chief of the Iowans. Are we going to change all these names as well? Where does it stop? I propose that it stops when we stop believing the lie that we are different races and start living by the truth that we are all one race, male and female, created by God. From one man, God made every nation of men that they should inhabit the whole earth. The world, America, and Iowa represents diverse skin colors, languages, and cultures, but we are all one race created in the image of God. I believe it stops when we work together as a Seminole tribe, work with Florida State University, because the investment in a relationship of mutual respect brings a variety of social and economic benefits to both parties. I think
it's the right action to take. And I'm also speaking as a Native American, as an indigenous person as well. And I understand the passion about the tradition and the emotion behind having that mascot name for such a long time. I get that. But, and there's also some people out there that feel that the Mohawk name is used to honor the Mohawk people. However, if we really want to honor the Mohawk tribe, let's honor their request to stop using that name. We can move forward through this. We'll get through it. And we should look at this and view it in the context of a new beginning for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Discontinuation of the use of the Mohawk name mascot. It's got page 162. So, to discuss it, yes, here. Maybe we should.
You can do that.
Discuss it.
Ask the board if anybody objects to just having some general discussion.
Yeah, does anyone object to having general discussion before we just decide which motion to take?
It's only one motion.
Well, decide what option.
There's 2 parts.
Yeah.
They're both together.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there were options.
No, I just wanted to explain that what I'm recommending is a 2-part kind of time.
Okay, I apologize. We're going to go ahead and make the motion, then we'll discuss it. So, would someone like to read the motion as Dave has?
I move to direct the administration to begin the transition from the use of the Mohawk names as the school district mascot, including Native American images, symbols, and likenesses to a new mascot effective November 16, 2021. So that's A. B is to present at the January 17, 2022 school board meeting a timeline to complete the transition from the Mohawk name and a plan to adopt a new mascot as of July 1st, 2020.
All right, someone like to second that motion?
Second that.
All right, Pete. Now we can have a discussion. Does anyone have any?
Anyone would like any of that explained? The word transition is important in the motion. This isn't just an all or nothing thing come tomorrow morning. It's what could we do tomorrow in a gradual sort of way to stop using the name in certain ways, but we're not tearing down signs, not saying you can't wear a uniform, those kinds of things. And we don't have that process for how are we going to adopt a new one or bring one. I think the students made a good point. They need to be involved. They want to be involved. They're engaged in this. We have that other group that's met about the logo, which is separate than the mascot issue, but they're highly engaged in this. So I think we can bring you a list of where it's been used, how it's used, what that kind of release might be, and if there might be any cost in it. Some things might cost, other things are simple. We have, for example, we have a special ed classroom of support for students called the Mohawk Connections. That would be a simple change to just call it the Connections Room until we get into that. Those are some of the transition ideas that we have, so that this could start tomorrow at some point.
We know personally, Chair, that we've received dozens of emails that told us they.
For a new one?
What?
For a new mascot?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, that's part of the transition, is deciding what are we going to do with it.
And I do love the passion behind it. I said it, I was a coach in high school. And I get that. But I also feel we do need to move ahead and respect the letter that we received in that request. And I hope, this is my hope, just as I said to the student body president, that this community will be positive in a transition. Not so much for the adults that spoke tonight, but the students that walk in those hallways on a daily basis. And I cannot say this enough. Children will do what we do. So if we respect this process, so too will our students. We have to remember, I was a Westwater Mohawk. We have to remember, it will not take my credits away. It will not take my state opportunity and certificate away, or any medals that I got. Wonderful memories, wonderful memories. But we have an opportunity once again to come together in this community to do something amazing for our students. Our students are more than a label. Our students have heart, unbelievable compassion for each other, an amazing love for this community. When they walk out on those courts, or they compete in debate, or they perform their theater or their choir concerts or music concerts, they are so much more than a label. They leave here and they represent us, not as a label, but as an amazing human soul that goes out and does the best they can for the community that raised them and the communities they encounter out. So I hope that all of us that have wonderful passion, we all have it, that we can do the right thing and do respect. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments?
Well, so essentially, we had the opportunity to hear a couple people's opinion. I just have to start by saying that I hold no moral compass, right? So I'm not the judge of where anybody stands on this, right? So it's hard for me to say that I understand, because I'm not born and raised here, so I didn't go to school here. But what I do understand is what it's like to be dismissed, right? And have your culture like misunderstood or misrepresented. And it sounds like that haven't been the case. But who are you as the person that is using it? You don't hold the moral ground to say whether or not someone is being oversensitive or whatnot, right? But we do hold the moral ground, right, to actually hear them and be understanding and understand them with compassion and empathy, right? No one's taking away your pride and your compassion, right? The change of a name does not take away the years that you spent as a Mohawk, right? We're not asking you to take your jerseys or your shirts or your anything paraphernalia or whatnot that has that logo on it or whatnot and saying trash that. You keep that until and embrace that and wear that to your fullest, right? Love it, you love it, we love it, right? But if someone is asking you to hear them and understand them and respect them, then it's our duty to do that, right? So it's not hard to make the decision to say, hey, let's move forward and let's find other things that we can use to represent us as a whole without offending anyone or anything. Simple.
Thank you. Those in favor of approving the motion that Katie made and Kate seconded, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. We're on to item D, SBRC request for LEP allowable costs. So, one thing, Jake mentioned the acronyms. School Budget Review Committee, SBRC, LEP. Aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. We're on to item D, SBRC request for LEP allowable